Hey guys, welcome back to another do-it-yourself repair video. In today's video, I'm going to be swapping out a faulty garbage disposal for a friend of mine. He called up and plumbers wanted around $300 to do this simple job. Now his garbage disposal didn't stop working, it just rusted out, and you could look underneath and you could see right here water dripping from the bottom of his disposal, an indication that the inside of the disposal is rusted out. You may have a disposal that does not turn on, or if you do turn it on, you're going to hear a hum. And the first thing you want to do is take that wrench that's included with your disposal, reach into the hole at the center bottom of the disposal, then gently move back and forth to try and free anything up that may be jamming the disposal. After doing that, if you turn on the disposal and it still does not work, if there is power to the disposal outlet, then more than likely the windings inside the disposal are faulty and you're going to have to swap it out. So it's a very simple process. I'm going to take you through it, so let's get started. I'm going to remove this first. This just catches things from falling in like spoons, knives, forks. I'm going to be replacing this mounting assembly, so let's go underneath. Now the first thing you want to do is disconnect the power from the disposal. So in this case, it is plugged into an electrical receptacle at the back of the cabinet. It's a split circuit. One half is for the dishwasher and the other half is for the disposal. So I'm going to pull that plug out, the gray one. With the plug removed, now I can go on to the next step. You also may have a direct connection to your disposal like you see right here using armored cable. In that case, you're going to want to turn off the branch circuit. So go to your electrical panel and then turn off the breaker for the disposal. Once the breaker's off, you can then go to the armored cable where it connects to the bottom of your disposal. You're going to take the Phillips screw out of the plate, and then you can remove the wire nuts and the armor cable from the old unit that's damaged. With the electrical disconnected, the next step is to remove the drain elbow from the disposal. You're going to use a slot screwdriver. Okay, they're both loose. Just take it out by hand. If you want, you can also remove this trap by unscrewing this nut and that nut. It'll make it a little bit easier when you go to pull this drain elbow out. Take the plate, just slide it down, and now I could push this off to the side just a little bit. We're going to be replacing this drain elbow from the new InSinkErator Badger 100 disposal. Next step is going to be removing the discharge hose from the dishwasher that goes into the disposal. Has a clamp. Just grab it and wiggle and keep it off to the side. A little bit of excess water may come out, but it shouldn't be too much because there is a loop in that discharge hose from the dishwasher, preventing water from siphoning out. Now that the drain's disconnected, the dishwasher's disconnected, and the electrical, there's only one thing left to do to get the disposal out. Take a screwdriver into this ring, another one here, and you're going to apply just enough pressure to get this to undo. And this one wasn't even locked in. I don't know how it didn't fall down, but it's supposed to be a little further back into a spot here. Let me show you. Should be all the way right there. That's where it's locked at the end, and it was not there. He's lucky with the vibration that this did not fall down. So let's release it now. Yep, now it's undone. Very carefully hold the bottom and straight down. Removing the mounting assembly is very simple. You can see right here, looking up from the bottom, that there is 3 bolts. One at this corner, here, and in the back. You're going to completely release those to take the tension from this plate off of this plate. When you lift it up, you're going to see there's a metal ring. So go like this, pop that ring off. It's a retaining ring right here. And now this plate can come off, as well as the paper gasket. And then you're going to push this up and you're going to clean all the old plumbing putty off of the stainless sink. So let's do that. You can use a hard piece of plastic to scrape this off and then wipe it with a terry cloth towel or a paper towel until there's no more residue. Now I could just take a piece of wood. It's probably the best thing to use, and it comes out beautiful. Look at that, nice and clean. You don't have to worry about chewing up the stainless steel. Make sure there's a towel underneath your sink, and you don't get a cleaner surface than that. Okay, this is perfectly clean and ready for the new mounting assembly. Here's the new mounting assembly. Loosen these bolts. This ring right here, just pop it off. Might have to move around to a couple of spots. Lift this off. All right, so I'm going to take some plumber's putty, roll it into a thin, maybe 1/4 inch wide bead, and press it onto the rear side of this flange. You want the bead about this thickness. Now I'm going to take the bead and just gently put it in position on this flange. Okay, so that's what it looks like pressed onto the flange. Now we're going to take this over to the sink and push it down from the top, making sure that the writing is facing you in the correct direction. Insinkerator, I want to put it just like this. Center it over the hole. Push down. See some of the putty starting to come out. That's perfect. You have a good seal. Take the paper gasket, slide it over. Now this piece. Then you're going to take this. Make sure the bolts are all the way down flat, so I'm going to lower those more. It's going to be easier to put the ring on. Take this, slide it up. Make sure this point here with the bolt goes into the projection of that triangle. And then this you're going to spread. It's a good idea to have somebody above pushing down on the flange while you're going to put this ring on. So now I have somebody pushing down. I'm just going to spread this ring. Okay, and you can see with somebody pushing down on it, it was very easy. You don't have to worry about the whole flange being moved out of position. Now I tighten these by hand first. Just go around one time, make sure they are tight. You don't want this moving when you go to put the disposal in position. And that looks good. Let's take a look up top to see how much of that putty came out. You can see the plumber's putty pushed out uniformly around the flange. I'm not going to pull it off yet. Let's finish this installation first. Now we're not going to be using this old drain elbow. So let's loosen this slip nut. Feels like there's some compound on these threads because there was a leak at one time. Yep. You're going to keep this nut and that gasket, so just pull it right off and clean it with a terry cloth towel. I am going to be using this cord again. So in order to remove it, you can see right here there's a Phillips, and this unit rusted and it found its way into the electrical, which wasn't good. Oh yeah, look at this. This is nasty. Is this nasty? It rotted out and it ended up inside the electrical. So I'm probably going to have to trim these wires off and make it nice and new. Let me grab some pliers. Oh yeah, this is not nice. Oh, what a mess. Okay. You can see there's a ground connection right here. There's a whole bunch of coffee grinds in here, so apparently it rusted out pretty bad and all the coffee found its way into the bottom. That looks good. Can loosen right here. Loosen the Romex connector. And then I'm going to pull the wire straight out and unscrew the Romex connector. With the new disposal, you're going to take the screw out of this one. Ah, nice. Very nice. Here's my Romex connector. Just thread it in. And leave the screws over there until the cable is in. And then you could tighten it down because it's going to end up in an area where you won't be able to screw down the clamp. So leave it over there. To make it easier, just put a little bit of a bend and twist the ends together. Should. There it is. Perfecto. Right there. Now I'm going to tighten this down. Tighten the clamp. Now that it's clamped, I can rotate this into position better. Get the clamps tight. Tighten this down. Perfect. So this is ready to roll. If you don't have a power cable like this and it's an armored cable, it's going to connect the same way into this opening. You're going to unscrew the end connector and screw it back in and feed your wires into the disposal. There's two wires. One is going to have lines running lengthwise. That's the white. And the one that doesn't have any lines, see it's smooth on this side, on the back side of it? That is your hot, so that's the black. So let me connect those up with the new wire nut, and I'll show you and go on to the next step. Make sure the ends line up, twist them together. Take the wire nut, tighten down securely, and then you're going to tuck it in. Once it's tucked in, plate goes back on, and then the electrical is complete. Very simple to do. Okay, this is your reset button in the event of an overload. Your wrench goes in here to free it up if something jams it. Okay, now the next step is extremely important if you have a dishwasher. If you don't have a dishwasher, you don't want to touch this. You leave it alone. It's already sealed off. But in my friend's case, he has a dishwasher, so it needs to be able to discharge into the disposal. If you look inside, you can see right here, there is a plastic plug. You're going to have to take a flat blade screwdriver, position it right in the corner, anywhere around the edges, and then you're going to strike it with the hammer, go all the way around. It's going to pop out, and then you're going to grab it and remove it from the inside of the disposal. Okay. It's out, but not fully. Now it is. Okay, make sure you remove that. If you don't, you're going to drain your dishwasher and it's going to do absolutely nothing. We're going to take the disposal. You can see there's these metal tabs on this ring right here. The low spot is where these tabs engage. And I want to make sure my drain points towards my dishwasher as well as the drain from the disposal going to the PVC trap. So lift up, rotate. Once it's partially on, then you're going to take a screwdriver. You can put it in here and one over there and just gently rotate until it's fully engaged, which is at the very far end on the right. Now it's locked in nice. Next step, take the dishwasher discharge hose with the clamp, put it back on. Next step, we're going to take the drain tube that connects to the disposal, drain elbow, put that rubber gasket in there. When you put the drain elbow in, don't tighten it down fully until you line up the trap. So you can see right here, it's off. The way to correct that is to rotate this to create the space I need. And the space I need is right there. That is perfect. When you put this slip nut back on, make sure that the washer is not cracked. If it's chewed up or cracked, you're going to want to go to the hardware store, pick up a new one. This is 1.5 inch. Slide this up. Looking good. Don't tighten this one down fully until you get this one going also. Now you can tighten them down. And that looks good. You should not have to do more than hand tight. Tighten down the bolts. Okay, both of these bolts are now tight. The elbow is secure. The trap is tight. Going to plug this in. All right, it's coming off nicely, and I waited till the very end because it continues to gush out for a little while. So if I would have cleaned it in the beginning, I would have come back later and seen a little bit more push out. So this is the way to do it. You could use your fingertip, and to get it really clean, you could even get a utility knife around the edge, like this. Just carefully do that edge, and then wipe away the excess with a paper towel. And right there, you can see it looks beautiful. Now let's turn it on, make sure it works good. Very nice, and like I said, it couldn't be an easier job. Let's take a look underneath now just to make sure that everything is tight enough and there's no leaks. The water is running, everything looks good. You want to inspect all around this mounting flange at the drain elbow. You want to make sure that the trap is not leaking. If it is, just tighten down the nuts more. And if it continues to leak, you're going to have to replace the gaskets under those lock nuts. Guys, I hope this video helps you and saves you money in the future. Thanks for watching.